Okay, uh, so I never uploaded this dead ass channel because who gives a shit? But I thought it'd be fun to do a little Dark Souls boss tier list. This can fuck right off. Dark Souls boss tier list because I just beat the game for the upteeth fucking time, and I figure why not? It'd be something fun to do. So I'm gonna try to go in order, and this one S tier we're gonna call this fucking hell because why not? This is gonna be maybe just difficult, or we'll do really difficult. Maybe this one be difficult, just straight up. Or we'll be gentle. We'll say challenging, or no, hard, then challenging, and then this is just like extremely easy. The chump bosses. So I'm gonna try to go in order here. But obviously Dark Souls there's a bit of an open order. So it's not entirely black and white as to like the order. But I'll try to stick to what makes sense. For the most part, or at least what I usually do. Which means first we've got Asylum Demon, who obviously is like a tutorial boss, so he's super fucking easy. You get like a free plunge attack on him, and his patterns are obviously super easy because he's the tutorial boss or whatever. So there's no reason he would actually be hard. But it's kind of cool. It's just kind of a nice, easy, relaxed fight. So I mean I don't really think I have to defend my decision here. He's chump change. He's easy. Maybe not the easiest, but he's definitely easy. Um, which means after him, I think most people would. Um, I mean, I think you pretty much have to, unless you had the Master Key, you'd have to do Taurus Demon next. Um, and he's not easy. I'd put him in challenging. Taurus Demon is challenging. Um, also, these are not fit to scale. Also, I meant to give a shout out to my loyal subscriber base, my massive subscriber base, to this guy, because he made it. This fucking weeaboo dude. But it's really well organized and well made, so kudos. Anyway, Taurus Demon isn't challenging. He's kind of easy. I mean, challenging is maybe I guess a misnomer, but he's challenging in the sense that you get kind of a restricted arena. You have the kind of narrow bridge you have to operate on, and Taurus Demon's pretty fucking fat, so getting around him is kind of difficult if you're fighting him that way. The caveat to that being is that you get to do repeated plunge attacks, and depending on your strength or your dex or whatever you're investing your physical attack into, you can take him out of those plunge attacks in like three or four plunges. So the method I usually do is like I get a plunge attack, I go down, I dodge him, um, get a bit of distance, run back to the ladder, climb up, plunge attack, and three or four of those, and he's usually dead. Um, so absolutely not a hard fight, but if you're fighting him regularly, I can see how like the restricted arena might make him a bit more difficult than like an asylum demon. Um, After him is I guess it'd be the bell gargoyles, right? Um, who would actually put I'm gonna put them. I think they're less difficult than Taurus Demon. First off, you can summon Solaire if you're human, and also the arena is generous. You might think belt gargoyles are harder because you get it's a 2v1. Once you get one to like a certain health, the other one spawns in with half health, and you're getting double team. But once you realize that one of them's usually staying back using fire attack, getting an opening on the one that's like physical or like up on you is really not that hard. You don't really even need Solaire for this to be an easy fight. He couldn't be a summon, and I'd still put him below Taurus Demon just because the arena is generous, and I really don't think it's like a 2v1 in the same way it is when you're fighting like the sentries in Dark Souls 2. This is a pretty tame fight and pretty easy. Um, Bell gargoyles after them. That's bring the first bell, so we'll do the second bell. We'll do Quaylog. Quaylog is not here, by the way. Quaylog is I put Quaylog in hard. Um, I sometimes fight Quelaag way earlier than I should, and my usual like class is Pyromancer, which Quelaag is obviously resistant to. However, you do get the Maneater Mildred summon if you're human, and she is brutal. Like she's pretty good. I've done playthroughs where I've like because I do nothing to Quelaag because her weak spot this bit is just hard to hit sometimes. Especially with the weapons I use. I don't use like halberds or anything. And I usually don't have the strength to wield them anyway because I usually don't do strength builds or anything like that. And even they're a base requirement to hold them. I'm usually not at. So I don't do any fire damage. I don't do any physical damage. So for me, I just let fucking Mildred go in there and kick ass. And as long as Mildred's not stepping into lava pools and dying and stuff, I've actually had her solo Quelaag before, and that's pretty funny. You can just kind of sit back with your popcorn and your Estus and just watch Mildred kick ass. That said, most people probably disagree and put Quelaag on here. And I'd get that if they had a different build or if they're just better players than me. But I'm putting Quelaag here, so fuck you. Some people might disagree. I don't care. Some people probably think Bell Gargoyles are harder. Or some people think Taurus Demon's really easy. I don't care. This is my list, so fuck you. If you don't like it, go screw. This is kind of where it gets a little dicey. Because technically you could do Quelaag and then you could go fight Ceaseless Discharge. So fuck it. We'll rank Ceaseless Discharge. That's just butt easy tier. Say even easier than Asylum Demon. If only for the quick kill. It's pretty common knowledge that you can lure Ceaseless Discharge back to the start of the arena where the fog gate is. And there's an attack where they'll throw their fist down. You hit it like 4 times. Doesn't matter how strong you are. And they'll fucking instant die. They'll fall off the cliff and be fucking history. And it's a super easy way to cheese the fight. That said, even the regular fight for this boss isn't hard. Pretty predictable, slow attacks, easy to avoid. And it's just kind of an easy fight. The only thing that can go wrong here is if you're trying to do the quick kill and you're running all the way back and they Ceaseless Discharge hits you with the fire wave shit and knocks you down. That can kind of like sometimes fuck up your quick kill or whatever. But generally, it's pretty easy. You take the close, you run to the start, you hit the fist once it's thrown out, you're fucking done. Easy boss, insta kill. So for that reason, I'd say easier than Asylum Demon. Let's do the butterfly next. Let's keep doing these easy ones. Moonlight Butterfly. Sorry, I don't want to get that wrong. And have it shoot at me with its weak ass attacks because this thing sucks. Maybe harder than Discharge, but probably easier than Asylum Demon. You don't even have to have ranged attacks for this battle to be easy. If you have a strength build or any kind of physical build, Moonlight Butterfly lands. This could be the fucking third boss you fight. I don't care. This thing goes down in a few hits. That said, if you're ranged and you're fighting this boss, you have a really easy time. The arena is super narrow, but it's super easy to avoid the Midnight Butterfly. Why do I keep calling it that? The Moonlight Butterfly's attacks. Because they're designed to just be sidestepped, so you just dodge to either side and you're good. And like I said, if you have a projectile, this thing is a complete joke. But even if you don't, again, it dies really fast. And once it lands, it really doesn't attack you. So, super easy joke fight with that one. So after you ring the bells, actually, well, technically, if we're going like by official order, if you don't have the fucking master key, you're not doing Quelaag before you do. Where is this motherfucker? Oh, actually, him too. Actually, we'll do Copper Demon first, because you do Copper Demon first. Copper Demon I'd put in hard. This is just my experience again. I think Copper Demon's kind of bullshit, because it's not him that's hard, it's just the weird-ass arena you're thrown in, and the stupid fucking dogs. When I was first playing Dark Souls, the dogs would ruin me, because I'd walk into the arena, I'd get mauled by these animals, and then this motherfucker would lunge at me and do like half my health, and I could never get my rhythm back. But after you kind of figure out how to deal with the dogs, or lure them up the stairs and kill them, or whatever, he's generally pretty easy, but definitely still above, Taurus Demon and the Gargoyles in terms of difficulty. It's just kind of figuring out how to deal with the dogs. Any boss that has a bunch of fucking minions you have to deal with, generally make the boss a lot more difficult. Um, but you get free plunge attacks if you go up the stairs, and it's kind of easy to goad away once you get the dogs dealt with. Like if you need to go heal or something, you can kind of platform and drink, and you'll get free heals or whatever. So he's actually pretty easy. It's just a matter of getting through the gate and not being killed by those hellhounds or whatever. After him, you do the gaping dragon because you'd be down in the sewers or whatever. Um, and the gaping dragon's really easy. Um, I put below Copper, but above Taurus. Um, super slow, predictable attacks. Really weak, obviously, it's a dragon. To the what's that fucking stuff called? The gold pine resin. Um, you put that on your weapon. He's going down pretty quick. And you can also, I believe, summon Solaire on this fight, but it's hardly ever necessary because I think Gaping Dragon is just such a clumsy big boss. It's really hard to even die from it. Um, I don't really think I have to defend myself too much on this one. He's pretty obvious with his attacks, and he takes a lot of damage if you're using pine resin or anything like that. So, um, Gaping Dragon, I'd stick him right the fuck there. Okay, next we've got So let's see, you've done this. Yeah, you did the Blighttown, you ring the bells. So now you're doing Sense Fortress, okay? Sense Fortress. You find the Iron Golem. Iron Golem, I put above Tauros, but below Gaping Dragon. He's super easy. His arena's kind of small, and there have been times where I've just fucking up and right. Not even just been thrown off, which you can do, and that's kind of annoying. But I've just like rolled off and killed myself. But that's usually the only way I'm dying. Um, his actual like attacks, like his stupid stomp thing, is um, pretty easy to avoid. It's kind of like the tree in the second game. You just like you see he's raising his foot, okay, you back up. You let him baby rage, and then you punish him. And he even has this little collapse move where once you do enough damage to his feet, he'll like break down, and you can get a bunch of free hits or heal or do whatever the fuck you need to do. That said, you can still die to Iron Golem. So I'd put him above Tauros. And maybe honestly, maybe above Keeping Dragon. Because I mean, I just said Keeping Dragon was super easy and super hard to die to. I've died to Iron Golem here, or a small arena before, so we'll put Iron Golem right here. Fuck it, he's right there. That said, I wouldn't exactly call him hard. Like I said, these might be like misnomers, except this one. This is probably going to be pretty accurate. Um, but I don't know, hard. I don't care. Whatever. This is in this tier. He's harder than this guy, but probably easier than this guy. So after the Golem, you're in Anor Londo, and your ass is probably fighting Ornstein and Small, and they're really difficult. I'd put them really difficult here. Um, that said, you can summon Solaire, and if you deal with those little guards in front of the door, you can take Solaire with you, obviously. And he's kind of nice to have as like one of you go fight Solaire, I'm gonna go fuck up. Usually Ornstein is the first one to die, and that's kind of the reason this isn't in fucking hell tier. Is that I don't think it's that hard to do without a summon, because Ornstein is always on your ass, and it's pretty easy to leave Smo behind in the dust, and slowly kind of whittle down Ornstein, generally in a pretty safe manner, who himself has pretty easy to avoid attacks. But I do think this is a situation where 2v1 is a lot more dangerous than like the Gargoyle 2v1. Not to mention these guys power up. You kill Ornstein, Smo will power up. You kill Smo, Ornstein will power up. And those forms do have some strong attacks. But generally, I think as long as you mind your distance from Smo and take out Ornstein first, it's easy fight, but it's definitely harder than any of these. And I've died to this boss many times, especially when I was first starting to do Dark Souls. He would take a lot of my runs or whatever. He'd take a lot of my attempts. But now, in retrospect, I don't think he's that hard. Because I'm just cool. But he's still going really difficult because it's the next tier up, so he's going there. Because he can be really difficult. And I think there's definitely a learning curve to this fight, more so than any of these ones. So you do these guys, you fuck up Ban Orlando, then you get the Lord Vessel, you can go anywhere. And you got to get these boss souls, so you got to do Nito, the Four Kings. You got to do Seath, Scaleless, and the bed of chaos. Um, we'll do how I normally do them, I guess. Then, I'd put Nito in honestly really difficult tier, and I'd put him above Ornstein and Smo. Some people think he's the easiest of the Lord Souls. I fucking absolutely don't, because of the innumerous amount of fucking skeleton enemies he has at his disposal. And those motherfuckers will roll into you. They will chase you from the ends of the earth, and it makes it really hard to get in on Nito. Nito himself has really easy to avoid attacks. If those fucking skeletons weren't in the picture, this guy would be down here with ceaseless discharge. But he's not. He's got his little fucking henchmen that whenever you try to make an attack on Nito, they'll roll into action and stab your ankles, or or kill you in some way, or just prevent you from healing or attacking. The only thing that doesn't make this fucking hell is I think Nito's pattern is super easy, and I don't think it's hard to, like, if you need to, you can run a really far away and heal. And also, if you hit Nito, sometimes he'll do this attack where he'll like crouch down and throw out this miasma, and it'll kill all those guys, and it makes it kind of easy to like feel like, oh shit, I can kill these guys now. So fuck it, Nito goes there, because I think he's hard, and if you don't, good for you. You're really cool at the game. Then I'd probably do Four Kings next, because I don't think New Land is a very hard or long area. Four Kings, put him right here. These guys are pretty commonly referred to as like a damage check, because it's just a matter of killing one before the next one shows up, and they have a super easy pattern to avoid. The only thing that's bad is if you're not doing enough damage, and if one of these guys grabs you, another one's going to spawn, and then by then it's like, okay, you're getting fucked. But as long as you're doing enough damage and you're avoiding that attack, they're not too bad. But they're kind of another boss learning curve. And like I said, they're like a damage check. So if you're not dealing enough damage, don't fight these guys. Go fight a different guy first. Get your dex up, or your intelligence, or your strength, or whatever you use to do your primary attacks. Get that shit up, so you can actually kill these guys in time. Because that does make them a little bit difficult. Definitely more so than any of these guys. We did Nito, so we'll actually do Pinwheel, because you fight Pinwheel before Nito. Pinwheel's obviously fucking complete chump change. He's maybe the easiest boss. Yeah, fuck. No, he's easy. He's harder than Ceaseless Discharge. I would say. Pinwheel, that said, is really easy. He usually dies in like 2 to 3 hits. And he's so easy, in fact, that there's 10 Pinwheel mini bosses enemies before Nito. So you basically have to do this 10 times over before Nito, and it's still fucking easy. So this guy's chump change. And since it gives you the right of kindling, it's actually, people sometimes do this guy first. That's how they play the game, and that's perfectly legitimate as long as you don't mind the hell that is the catacombs. He's actually like plausible as a first boss. Well, Outer Asylum Demon, he can totally be the first boss. We'll go back to the Lord guys. We'll put Seath. Seath, I think, is he's harder than Four Kings, but not harder than Smo. His tail is really dangerous. I think he has this tail move, and if he slams you down, it can just kind of be brutal. But like the crystal attack, he's always doing it misses. It misses all the fucking time. So I think he's really susceptible to just getting clowned on. If you just get in there and avoid his tail attack, he's super easy to just pick apart. He doesn't have particularly hard patterns or anything like that. Afterwards, there's a Bed of Chaos, and I'd put this guy in fucking hell. The saving grace with Bed of Chaos is that you don't have to do the whole boss fight in one attempt. If you get like the left side, if you kill that, it's dead the next time you run into the boss room. Same with the right side. So like once you get the sides down, it's just a matter of getting to the center in one attempt. Which, make no mistake, is still brutally hard. His pattern, I'm not even sure what the fuck it is anymore. I mean, he has those head attacks that can like hit you if you're far away, and if you try to run towards either side, or particularly the center where the actual vulnerable part is, you will get your ass swatted and fucking. He's like a Laker. You'll fucking try to go in and he'll swat your ass away from the net, and it's not hard to die to Bed of Chaos. He's fucking brutal. He's like maybe my most hated boss in like the vanilla game. Um, but like I said, you get to do it in sections if you want. So it's really just like a matter of time before you just inevitably win. But his pattern's super annoying, and he doesn't do any damage. It doesn't matter how high your defense is or your poise. This dude will fucking hit you, and you will go sliding across the map like a hockey puck right into a fucking ravine, and that'll be your run. And the run back is really annoying because you have to go, provided you find a little secret bonfire in Lost Isleth. If you didn't find that, you'd have to go from the start of Lost Isleth all the way to this dude. He fucking swats you away, and then there goes your attempt to run all the way back. Equip the orange chartering. It's just a pain in the ass. He's just kind of a shittily designed boss, but he's maybe not the hardest in the game because there is the DLC, and you'll see where I put some of those motherfuckers in a second. I guess I probably should have done the Demon Fire Station and Centipede Demon because they're bosses you fight before Bed of Chaos. So we'll do those. Centipede Demon's pretty easy. You can kind of get on your ass and you have like a limited field because you get the orange chartering from him. So you really just get to stick on land and that's it. But you get a summon, a Slayer if you want. I'd put him right here. This is fine, in my opinion. Maybe up here, you could argue. I don't care. But he goes there. He's got readable attacks, but he can just, because you have such fine area to stand on, he will just get on you and he won't fuck off. Which, is kind of annoying. I mean, I've died to Centipede Demon before. But he's definitely not harder than any of these guys. Definitely not the ones in this tier. But just kind of annoying because you have a limited space. But his actual attacks are pretty easy to avoid. Demon Fire Sage is kind of hard. And I guess since we're doing him, we'll do Stray Demon too. Demon Fire Sage, I would put his ass, like, honestly up here. The only annoying thing is that stupid fucking point move. And I'll put the Stray Demon down here too. The stupid fucking point move is one of the most consistently hard to avoid. I'm not sure where I'm supposed to roll attacks in his kit. And it's the reason Silent Demon. So if a Silent Demon had that shit, fuck it. He's a pure bed of chaos. But he doesn't. But these other demons, that point move where they point and there's an explosion, that shit to this day, I'm like, where am I actually supposed to go? And it does damage. But the rest of their attacks are pretty easy. But it's that one move that just makes these guys, for me anyway, a pain in the ass. And I don't like them for that reason. You could maybe even argue they could go up here. But I don't think they're as hard as Nito. So we'll go. Then again, I don't think they're as hard as the Gaping Dragon. But that's what this buffer area is for. After we got, we'll do Sif. We'll do fucking Sif. Sif, I'd put, like, he's pretty easy. He's harder than Gaping Dragon. Yeah, he's harder than Gaping Dragon. Is he harder than Golem? Maybe. We'll put him here. I think this is a good spot for the puppy. As long as you stay under Sif, he's pretty easy to avoid in terms of, like, his attacks. All you gotta do is just stay under him, and he, for the most part, cannot hit you, and he struggles to hit you. And he's not, like, tanky or anything, so doing damage to him is never really, it's a non-issue. And whenever he starts limping, I get this huge ego boost. And I'm like, let's fuck him up! So, you poke him, and then he dies. He's an easy boss. Again, I probably should have done him before 4 Kings, since you need the Abyss Ring from him, but I don't care. Sif goes here. Fuck you. Let's see, after you do Stray Demon, you get the Suspicious Doll or whatever, so you'd fight Crossbreed Priscilla. I'd put her... The invisible shit's kind of annoying, but after you expose her, she's, like, completely helpless. So we'll put her here. A lot of this here going on. The invisible shit, I can see how it's annoying, but as long as you, like, keep an eye on her footsteps, within a couple of attacks while she's invisible, she'll be exposed, and then by then she's basically fucking cooked. So I'd put her there. It's just getting past that invisibility that's kind of like, okay, we did that bit, she's done. And even then, the invisibility shit's not hard to get her out of, because you just follow the footsteps. Do you have eyeballs? Okay, check. Alright, you can beat the boss. We've got really only a DLC left, and then we'll do Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn, I think, is really easy. Um, I kind of like it into Four Kings, where you just gotta have enough stamina, you know, to be able to run up to him after you dodge his shit and do some damage to him. I'll still put him above. I'll put him like right here. Some people think he's hard. I really don't think so. You just have to hug those little sides, and you can avoid that knife attack. And the spell attacks he has are really easy and slow. Um, so it's just like, do you have enough stamina to go up there, whack him a few times before he fucking disappears and runs further back? You do, great. You can beat Gwendolyn. Um, but maybe for that reason, some people think he's hard because maybe you don't have enough stamina. Maybe you don't do a lot of damage, so you're having trouble fighting Gwendolyn. And you can fight him early. The minute you find uh, Princess Guinevere, you can shoot her ass, and then Erlana will go dark, and you can fight this guy. So you can fight this guy pretty early on in the game. But I usually fight Gwendolyn pretty late, so I really don't ever struggle with him in my experience. Gwyn, Lord of Cinder, I'll go here. I don't mind putting Gwyn here. Gwyn is really easy if you save Solaire and you summon Solaire and he can fuck him up. And a lot of people, are like, oh, just fucking parry Gwyn. It's super easy. I can parry his slow attack, but there's a fast attack he has that I am, like, I guess too fucking stupid to react fast enough, and I always get hit by it. But he's easy to punish or avoid if he grabs, and you can heal him or punish him. Because that's a super predictable slow attack that you can easily dodge roll to a side, and you can do whatever you need to do. But his fast attack is, I think, harder to parry. But for that reason, he's harder than these guys. Especially if you don't have Solaire. Like, if you have Solaire, he's maybe down here with these chumps. But I generally just find his fast attack to be really hard to parry. So I don't think the parry method is as reliable as a lot of people say it is. At least not in my experience. I'm not able to react as fast as fuck. As fast as the average Joe. So I'd put Gwen there. Also, it just feels wrong putting the final boss below fucking crossbreed Priscilla or fucking Tauros Demon. So we'll put him there. Definitely not as hard as these guys. Now we've got these motherfuckers. Sanctuary Guardian is maybe like the most fun boss in the game, in my opinion. Like, I really like his attack patterns. He's just a fun fight. The first time I went into the DLC, I was like, this is going to be alright. And then I did it. I was like, oh my god, that was an easier fight, but it was pretty fun. He has really fun attacks. They're, like, well telegraphed. There's no bullshit with this guy. He's just, like, a well-designed boss. That said, he's not exactly hard. He's pretty straightforward. Kind of like Gwendolyn. I would just, like, put him right up here. Definitely harder than Sif. Yeah, harder than... Yeah, fuck it. He can go a bit higher. Yeah, let's throw him right here. No, fuck it. Sanctuary Guardian, get a spot up here. He's very easy, compared to, especially the rest of these fuckers. But I don't think he's that bad. Next we'll do Kalameet, the dragon. He's got pretty easy. All his lightning attacks are kind of easy to avoid. But the one where he just, like, immediately flies at you and does, like, half your health. And then if you're still under him, will just fucking smack your ass with his tail and kill you. That shit is, like, the only thing I ever died to. That shit's annoying. But every lightning beam attack, except the one where he, like, throws it straight down and makes a little field. All those are really easy to avoid. But still harder than... Maybe easier than Nito, but probably harder than Ornstein and Smo and Gwyn. Just for that one rushdown attack. But then he's kind of tanky. And he definitely takes, I think... In my opinion, it took me more than a few attempts to, like, learn all of his moves and what to do in reaction to him. So I'll put Kalameet right there. Oh, okay. We'll do Mr. Artorias now. I fucking hate this motherfucker. He's above Beta Chaos even. First off, you get no bonfire except the Sanctuary one, so you got to do a lot of running through that annoying ass forest with those pitchfork motherfuckers and those stone guys. And the pitchfork guys are kind of fast, so Like, I've been hit by him a lot on the way back to this fight. And that's not to mention the fight itself. The fight itself is, in my opinion, the hardest boss in the first Dark Souls. Um, Spoiler alert, I don't think it's Manus, though he is annoying. Um, he just, he, Mr. Abyss Walker Man does not give you a lot of breathing room. You know, you dodge an attack. This guy, you'll fucking start drinking an Estus. He'll slap that shit out of your mouth and stab you right in your asshole, and you'll die or take damage. It's really hard to get breathing room here, and because my builds are usually like these range builds, once I run out of spells, which is always inevitable, I'm left to my shitty ass uh, physical attacks. And I'm always using some stupid ass weapon like Kuei Long's Fury Sword. And I'm trying to use that with no humanity. And I'm doing no damage. Um, in fact, last time I played, I had that. And I was like, this sucks. Let me go make a fucking Great Scythe go to 15. And then all of a sudden I'm doing double damage. But even then, he's still fucking hard. Because he doesn't let you fucking breathe. You take damage once, good luck fucking safely healing. Because usually you're kind of just trading heals and hits until you're out of Estus. You better go into this fight with fucking 20 Estus before you even fucking think about the Abyss Walker. But some people probably just fucking go up there with a billion poise, sit there, smack him around a few times, and kill him. And that's great, but I never do that because it's just not how I play, and I'm not very good at the game. So this guy's the hardest guy, just because he does not let you fucking rest. He's an absolute fucking animal, and I hate him. And when I beat him for the first time, I popped off so fucking hard. I think I exploded out of pure joy. He was a satisfying beat, but he's challenging. And for my money, he's the hardest guy in the game. That said, this little fucker, Manus over here, is probably in second place. Yeah, fuck it, second place. He also kind of has an annoying run back. You gotta run past. You start at the old style dungeon or whatever, that bonfire, and you gotta run all the way down there. And you'll, at one point, you're chased by this asshole, so kill him every time or just try to run past him. But then there's that other guy who, right above the descending part, will just throw fucking spells at you that do like, for me, always like half of my fucking health. Insane amount of damage. And that makes the run back a pain in the ass. There is the cheese method where you can like snipe him with arrows. I've never done it, but I've debated doing it before. I'm like, maybe I should just go get a bunch of arrows and just sit there and fucking lob them at him. Because I died to this guy a fuck ton. There's a way to summon Sif that's kind of, I guess, a secret or whatever. So you can get a secret little Sif summon. And he's, in my opinion, almost a fucking necessity for this fight. He's the only way you're getting Manus off of you. He starts fucking you up with that fucking combo attack where he's fucking lifting you up, throwing your ass down. You need Sif to like take some of those hits. Because that always does like most of my health bar. And I'm usually doing this guy second to last. Right before we win, I'll do the DLC. So he's challenging. Make no mistake, but his saving grace is the Sif summon. And I think even as far as like his move pool goes, I struggled way more with Artorias here, than with Manus here. That said, Manus is obviously second place, so he's no fucking joke. So that's where I'd stick Manus. Again, saving grace is that Sif summon. If you don't have that, I don't want to fucking think about fighting Manus, because if you don't have Sif, fuck it, he's up here. Fuck it, I'll make a new Tito's, put him up there. But unlike in the Artorias fight, you do get some breathing room. You do get a bit more time, I think, in between certain attacks to heal up or get some hits in. So I still think he's less hard than Artorias, but definitely a strong second place. Definitely harder than Bed of Chaos and harder than any of the bosses in the base game for that matter, obviously. But fuck you. That's my Dark Souls tier list. Leave hate comments to your heart's content. If you even kept watching this video, which I wouldn't be surprised. if someone returned their laptop or deleted the internet off their computer after watching this. But there you go. There's my Dark Souls tier list. Bye bye.